Hey guys and girls, and welcome back to part 4 of the 100% free to win guide to Arknights. Now we have just cleared all the tutorial in part 1 and 2. In part 3 we went over LS1 and LS2. And now we're going to jump straight into doing essentially chapter 1. It's called chapter 1 and the tutorial stage is called chapter 0. I personally don't like chapter 0, but we'll call this chapter 1 all the same. Let's jump into the video section and see what happens. Okay, so we're going to keep the exact same team. By this point we've leveled them up a tiny little bit, all to level 10, and here we go. So we have enemies coming from two different directions. As it just told you, there are fast speedy dogs, so we pop Plume in first, once again because the more units Plume kills, the more BP we get. We're then supporting him by putting a whole choke point of different ranged units to nuke all into this section. So while Plume can only block one unit, there is so much damage that even though there are multiple units coming in, they're getting killed. Now you saw up here the health box came up and told us there is an extra unit coming in. They're not really an issue. Here's a big guy. Melantha is going to help nuke them down. We also popped all our skills and our two mages just burst him. Melantha's almost dead. Not a problem. She actually didn't die. Great. Okay. On to the next section. We also got a little object there which is used to your base, so it's going to take us through and tell us start upgrading your base. This guy is called Courier. He is a vanguard which you can get from the credit store. But once you unlock your base and you get your reception set up and you start getting clues, add as many friends as you can, because every single day you can visit your friends when they're having what's called a clue party, and you'll get 30 credits. You can hold a maximum of 300. You can actually go over that when you get your daily intake. It just won't carry more than 300 to the next day. So you want to be spending in the credit store as much as possible, because we need to get Courier straight away, which we're going to buy now because he only costs 100. Okay? So after we buy Courier, you can get more units. There's a healer next called Gladiol, and you get dupes of Courier, dupes of Gladiol, which we'll also be using. Now, in this store, the Distinction store, these units we will never buy, we will never use, because as you can see, removed in 13 days. This is a rotation shop. These are not fixed units. So despite the fact that right now we can't afford them, but even if we could, they're not guaranteed to be there when you are at this point of the game, and because of that we will not be ever buying those. In the accommodation shop there are no units. However, from this voucher shop, it is a fixed shop for these two units, Kura and Theta, both of which we will be purchasing later on, not just yet. These chip catalysts you will need much later on, but don't worry about that for right now. For right now you can pretty much ignore this shop. We will get to it at the right time for you. So, oh, sorry about that. Okay, so we purchased from the credit store. We got our new operator, which is Courier. As you can see, I actually have a considerable amount of other operators. Savage, who's great. Siege, great. You know, this Shuriken girl's great. A lot of different units, and these three we got from the game. Courier we're about to put into our team because he's really good. He's going to replace Fang. I'm not using these units even though I have them, because you might not. So here we go. Just so we know, Courier is one of our units. We popped him up to level 10. Nice easy cap. We're going to pop all the other 3 units that we've been given so far up to level 10 as well. Probably never going to use Yato again, but just because we know, you know, the game gave her to us, we're going to pop her to level 10, and there we go. None of the other units are being used right now. Only the units that are up to level 10 are units we got with the game. So this stage, we're just going to keep on pounding through. It's a fixed team. Well, it's not, but it's our fixed team at this stage. Once again, we got 2 different points. Now, the top, there is a small section of monsters, but not a huge amount. The bottom, there are 2, but they can't pass through here. So essentially, it's a choke. So once again, what we're going to do is we're going to putting down our different units. Now, Plume, again, can only block 1 unit, so we put Beagle behind him, just to give some extra. We put in Hibiscus, just to add in some healing, and we're just putting in lots of DPS. We put Lava in the top, just because we don't know what's coming, and it may well be needed that we just want to AoE down a lot of damage, in case there are too many monsters coming for Fang to handle on her own. Because we have plenty at the bottom. We also put in Ansel, just to heal up Fang. Entirely unnecessary, really, but it's a safety precaution, why not? There we go. Stage clear. So, on to stage 3. Now, again, it wants to increase Amira a bit more. We're not going to. She's already level 10. We're perfectly happy with that. We'll keep her at level 10. Everybody that we're using everyone that we've been given so far is at level 10 at this stage. I'm just going through Plume, as you can see, upgrading a few of their skills, you know, because we like them. Upgrade Fang a little bit. All it really does is reduce the energy cost for Fang and speed up the time at which it takes for her to recuperate DP. Everybody else, it's a slight increase. Like Hibiscus, you saw, got an increase to her attack. We put her straight up to the level 3 because her attack directly increases her heals. Ansel is not so used, so we just kept her at level 2. Same with Beagle, doesn't really need to go higher. Same with this guy. Arknights, we don't really use him much. Melantha is a great DPS, so we put her straight up to level 3. Courier is an absolutely great tank vanguard. Jessica, one of our best range DPS. And there we go. We finished upgrading a few skills. We're popping a few levels into Plume, because we like Plume and he does a lot of work. So we collected up a few different quests. And there we go. Now, you can see on this section, really easy ones. Edit your profile, so easy. Set a support unit, so easy. What you do is you go to the main menu and there is a little box. You know, click that, you go into it, it brings up your profile. Set a support unit, you edit what it says to your friends. There's like a text line saying, "Hi, I'm bleh." You just edit that to say anything you want, and you get this done. Produce a drill battle record in the factory. That means you just basically build one of these in your factory. Takes you 45 minutes, you can speed it up with drones, not a problem. Change the squad name, also really easy. And clear any stage on auto, also really easy. So here we go. I'll go back actually. So here we go. Down in the bottom here, you can see your friends tab. Okay, so we clicked on, oh, I went too far, sorry. We clicked on that. Up here you can see, how about you say something? So we changed that to yo, that completes that reward. Come down to this section, support unit, add in anyone you want, it really doesn't matter. We're putting in Siege, no we're not, we want to put in Siege because she looks cool, but we're going to put in Amir instead because you can't add a 6-star, and there we go. Or for whatever reason, I think you can add a 6-star. Okay, so the other 2 parts down here, and complete any stage with auto deploy. So here we go to the factory, and there we go. Add in a drill battle record. You can expedite that, speed that up using your drones. I don't really need to, don't really want to, so we're just going to go straight through. But that's essentially going to complete those 2 and complete an auto battle. We're going to go in and do an auto of LS3. So we went and did an LS2 auto. Now we're going to go back in and we're going to go on to stage 1-3, keep going with chapter 1, and we'll move through from here. So, team is still as you saw, everyone's all level 10. Still our 100% free-to-play team. Let's jump in. Okay, so you can see up here, the red line showed that they are starting coming this way. Now, we've actually got a big badass guy, but he's stopped, so that's not a problem. We put in Plume, we put in Jessica, just to eat up all these monsters as they come through. Now you can see down here, there's a shield guy coming from the bottom, so we're putting in a Mia, and these guys are a little bit stronger, so we put in some single target DPS with some Mia, just to help nuke these down. Courier can actually block 2 units, so he's much better. The top one is a bit more fast-paced, but light armor units until this big guy gets here. But we pop Plume's skill, and this is why Plume is level 30 at this point, because Plume has now got a very good amount of attack. We put Melantha at the bottom. She's not blocking anything, she's just there to add extra DPS when they choke onto Courier. Melantha just hits them from the top, smashes them down. Right on to stage 4. And this one I believe is pretty much straightforward. So basically we've got 3 rungs. Now you can see they're actually coming through the middle. But I put Plume at the top and I was like, well, we'll just leave them there. I forgot to check where they're coming. So what we've done is we set our vanguards in a line. They're all building DP for us as they go. Our Hibiscus is now in place and she can heal all 3 of them at the same time, so she's great. And now we're just adding in layers upon layers of DPS to smash this chokehold. As anything comes down here, as they're coming through, we just launch them, smash them, all done. Nice and easy. Pop their skills as you see fit, as you want. Lavas, just, wait till there's a couple of biggish units coming through, smash them out. Really quite simple. Okay, on to stage 5. Now it's the same thing, but this time there are 4 rows. This makes it obviously a little bit more difficult. So once again, you can see the first row is coming down here. But this time we actually put Plume in the correct place. We're leaving the bottom row 3 for now. We're simply putting in enough DPS that when something comes down here, they should be able to kill it. Now obviously that's risky, especially when there's 2 units. So we've now put in Melantha. Now Melantha can get healed. We put our healers at both ends, Ansel and Hibiscus. So all 4 of these guys can get healed. Courier actually has the benefit of getting healed by 2 different healers at the same time, along with Plume. And again, it's the same as last time. We basically just made a choke of damage to nuke down the different people as they come through, with a line of subpar damage, but better than a tank. And there we go. Nice and simple, nice and fast. Not really anything to go wrong. So now we've got a little bit more tutorial thing. It's telling us about the Annihilation stage. And we are going to go into this in depth later on, but we don't need to cover it right now. First we're going to clear chapter 2, and then we will look into other things later on. So here on training 8, we're looking at Cruz, how Cruz works and how good Cruz is. She is actually great. I love Cruz, she's such a good unit, and you will see her all the time. So we put down Fang to create a choke, we put down Cruz. It would have been more optimal to actually put her on this space rather than that one, so she could hit them more here, but she hits them with plenty of time, and between the 2 of them they nuke everything down. Now the game gives us Cruz, and we now have a much better second archer instead of Arknights, who is, by the way, perfectly okay. I just favour Cruz more. So we now take out Rangers, and we're putting in our Cruz. We also popped her up to level 10, as you can see. And on to chapter 1-6. Now this is where it gets a little bit more complicated. As you can see, we've got these blocks in the bottom, and we've got suggestions for where to put them. This is not the only place you can put them, it's not the only place you should put them, but it is very easy to do for there. So we block these 2 sections, this one first because the monsters come out of here first and they would just go straight in. This one second because they come a bit later. So we block the choke with Plume, We've put Beagle in behind Plume, but we started with our 2 ranged DPS because they are the fastest attackers, and they're facing straight up just to nuke this whole section around here and prevent units coming through. Now we put in Courier and Melantha at the top because they can actually damage the units as they walk past before they even get to Plume. They're not blocking anything, they're just there as damage. Okay, and we got our mage here for AoEing them all as they get to Plume. We've got our 2 healers in place facing inwards so they can also heal Beagle, just in case something happens to Plume and he dies. Not a problem, never going to be a problem. There's 1-6, nice and swiftly smashed out. I hope you like what you've seen so far, guys. I hope you're not forgetting to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next one.